You know, for millions of people, chronic pain is this constant, unwelcome signal that just never shuts off. But what if you could find the one wire sending that signal and just snip it permanently? Well, we're about to look at a wild new technology that aims to do just that.
I mean, think about that for a second. What if we could actually erase chronic pain? It sounds like something straight out of a sci-fi movie, doesn't it?
But here's the thing. It's not science fiction. This is happening in labs right now. Scientists are testing a method that uses tiny nanoparticles and a little bit of focused energy to create what they're calling a nano painkiller. So, let's break down how this thing is supposed to work.
Okay, so what's the big idea? Well, it all comes down to this really elegant, really clever three-step system. It's actually pretty straightforward. First, you inject these special molecules, we're talking tiny gold nanoparticles, near where the pain is coming from. Then, and this is the cool part, they act like little trackers, traveling backwards up the nerve right to the specific cell that's screaming pain. And finally, you hit it with a focused laser. The gold particles heat up, and poof, they eliminate that one specific cell for good. The pain signal is just gone.
All right, so that's the theory. But an idea this revolutionary has to be tested, right? You gotta prove it works, step by step. So let's see how they put it through its paces in the lab.
The very first question was the most basic one. I mean, would these little gold nanoparticles even heat up when you shine a laser on them? Because if they don't, well, the whole idea is a non-starter.
And the answer? A big, definitive yes. When they zapped the nanoparticle solution with a laser, the temperature shot right up. Meanwhile, they did the same thing to a drop of regular saline solution, and nothing. It proved the effect was incredibly specific. It only happens where those particles are.
Okay, so they heat up. That's a huge check mark. But here's the next hurdle. Could they actually find their way to the right nerve cell inside a complex biological system?
Turns out, they could. The researchers were brilliant. They tagged the nanoparticles with a fluorescent dye so they literally glowed, and they watched them travel right up the nerve and straight to the pain-sensing cells. The targeting was perfect.
So they get there, and they can heat up on command. Now for the million-dollar question, could the system actually take out those target cells once they've been found?
And again, a resounding yes. In a lab sample, they aimed the laser at the glowing cells that had soaked up the nanoparticles. 10 days later, the targeted cells were completely gone, wiped out.
Okay, so it works on cells in a dish. That's fantastic. But this is the real make-or-break moment, isn't it? Could this actually reduce the sensation of pain in a living, breathing animal?
This is the ultimate test right here. They used a standard hot plate experiment with mice. And look at this. The group that got the nano treatment took way longer to react to the heat than the untreated group. To put it simply, they just weren't feeling the pain as quickly or as intensely.
And this wasn't just a fluke. The official conclusion from the study, I mean, you can read the science speak for yourself, basically says, yep, it absolutely works. It caused a measurable, statistically significant drop in pain sensitivity. That's the proof right there.
So when you put all these results together, what could this actually mean for the future? How big of a deal is this, really? Well, the potential advantages are just huge. We're talking about a potentially permanent, one-and-done treatment. It's not a drug, so there's no risk of addiction. It's incredibly precise, which means you avoid all those widespread side effects. For millions of people, this could be a game-changing alternative to medications like opioids. Now, of course, there's still a long road ahead with more research and trials, but this is an absolutely remarkable start. It's a possible blueprint for a future where we can find certain types of chronic pain at their source, target them, and just turn them off for good.